Happy Friday to you. I hope it finds you feeling good. I just wanted to pop in real quick and just do a quick Kiki chat, sharing of insights. I don't know what you would call it, about the new moon in Gemini tomorrow. Yeah, let's let's get into it. I have pulled up the chart from my perspective. The new moon from my perspective is exact at 9:38 p.m. tomorrow. I'm on the West Coast, so that's Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to convert to your own time zone for clearer understanding. But here it is. Here is the sun. That's a symbol for the sun in Gemini at 26 degrees and conjunct the moon in Gemini at 26 degrees. A new moon is when the sun and moon are conjunct, whereas a full moon would be when the moon would be over here and it would be opposite of the sun. Anywho, moon, sun, conjunct. We're talking about the blending of energies when we're thinking about a conjunction. So, what is it like to blend the moon and the sun? Well, first of all, that's a lot of light together, all clumped up together in one particular area of the chart. So, we know Gemini qualities are definitely going to be highlighted, right? A moon sun conjunction, it could speak to the blending of energies around the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. That's something I'm thinking about a lot because it is in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is in charge of our mind, how we think, our thoughts, our thought processes, communications and writing, things like that. So this new moon is very mercurial, and by mercurial I mean mental and probably thought driven. So that's something that is coming to mind. And then since it's at 26 degrees, I want to know, generally speaking, how is the new moon, the new moon interacting with other planetary placements in the chart? And so I'm going to look for anything else that is at 26 degrees exactly, or, I'll take a span from like 3 degrees on either side. So like 23 degrees all the way up to 29 degrees. Let's look around the chart and see if we see anything like that. Oh, first thing that pops up to mind is here. We've got Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees. So Neptune does like to be in Pisces. It works most efficiently there because it's at home. So Neptune is in charge of big dreams, sometimes big dreams that are delusional, if that makes any sense, or maybe even illusional. So big dreams or illusions, if you were looking at the shadow side of the thing. So what is it like to have big dreams slash maybe illusions in a square to this new moon? Well, I don't know. It makes me think about a square is an aspect with a lot of tension to it. So I'm wondering about thoughts that are at odds with some of the dreams, the big manifestations that we wanted to make happen. Or maybe it's thoughts about how we've been delusional in the past. Let me see if there's anybody else sitting around 23 to 29 degrees so we can understand a fuller picture of this. We got Neptune here. We talked about that. Oh, look at that. That is Pluto with the little R next to it. R for retrograde. It's moving backwards, at least from our point of view from Earth, right? Nobody's ever moving backwards. It's just a perception from our point of view. But we've got Pluto retrograde at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So Pluto is about deep transformation. Pluto is usually associated with Scorpio, so we're talking about like the depths, the intensity of things. So, deep transformation in Capricorn. Capricorn is the structures of things. So, like when we think about mundane astrology in Capricorn, I would think about governments and hierarchies. Or if I were to think about just a person's natal astrology, I would think about maybe your schedule or your work life, that kind of thing. In medical astrology, Capricorn's in charge of the bones. So this is very much like structures. So transformation of structures, and it's retrograde. So usually when I see a planet retrograde, I think more about people's internal experience rather than their external experience. Like, oh, transformation of internal structures. So is this thought processes? Um, it's not in, I would say it's not in opposition. It's probably something closer to a quincunx. Let me look it up here. I probably should have done that beforehand, but is Pluto quincunx the new moon? It does not say here, but it looks like it's close. So basically, a quincunx is an almost opposition, right? So, what does it mean to have these new or these ideas from our subconscious and conscious mind be at odds with the dreams and maybe our delusions of our life and have Pluto involved? So, deep internal transformation. I wonder if this is speaking to the idea of letting go of some delusions so that we can deeply transform the internal structures of our minds or our subconscious or our thought patterns, maybe even. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking in terms of like how we put all of these different aspects together. But yeah, I'm curious about what it means to even have a new moon in Gemini. The moon does not like being in Gemini. But a couple of degrees later, it's going to go into its home of Cancer. So, yeah, I'm wondering about this being a kind of itchy. That's the only word that I can think of in the moment. But, like, what does it mean to have an uncomfortable new moon? And if new moons are the start of a cycle, and usually the start of a cycle that ends 6 months later when we have the sun over here in Gemini, Sagittarius. What does it mean to begin a cycle where, again, we rid ourselves of our delusions in order to step more fully into transforming the big structures of our lives? And what is it going to look like in when the sun is in Sagittarius season and we have fulfilled that promise? What is that cycle going to look like 6 months from now? Anyway, these are some of my thoughts about the new moon. And yeah, feel free to comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree, disagree, if you want to fight about it. These are just some of my thoughts. I hope you are having a really good Friday, and I hope you have a great new moon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.